Now, I think a lot of us watched the documentary, the true story of this one. So then when I saw the trailer for this, I was very excited about seeing it. Welcome to another movie review. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews just like this one here at the weekend. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free, and I will leave a playlist of my recent reviews linked up above in case you are looking for something to watch this weekend. Yes, I went to see Dumb Money, which is the first film that I've been excited about coming out for a little while now. I counted how many films I went to see in the summer holidays. It was like 13. And I also did a rewatch of 3 of them. And so that's a big deal. Then the only other film since then, and we're nearly a month into the new term now, has been My Big Fat Greek Wedding. So I've been like, where have all the films gone? So yes, it was nice to see something that I was excited about seeing. Dumb Money follows the GameStop stock saga that began happening in 2020, so like a key time for news anyway, and sort of all wrapped up basically a year later in 2021. And this film was it just looks great in the way they set it up. Obviously, it's got a lot more like drama and intrigue, and it's cut differently than the documentary is. But if you've seen the documentary, it's not like you'll watch this film and be like, oh, I know all this. I'm not being entertained by this, because let me tell you, this film just has a great cast. It's got like all my favourite people in it. It's always weird seeing Nick Offerman without any sort of facial hair. America Ferrera's in it. Pete Davidson's in it. Seth Rogen's in it. It's got a lot of good people in it, and they all, I think, play their parts really well. A lot of them have this like Boston accent, which is interesting. And then yeah, it follows these people through the whole GameStop saga, through them investing using the Robinhood app, and kind of hedging their bets literally, and like holding their stock and watching the main guy sort of talking about what he's doing with the stock and how, you should buy more and you should hold and things like that. And then watching the big guys losing out slowly but surely. It's a real like underdog story, but like just in a world that I know nothing about. So it was really kind of almost like a fantasy to watch. It was really interesting. But yeah, stellar cast, really great acting, really kind of like considered considered like moves and the way they were spoken. Obviously it's good directing as well, because it's all very like measured performances. That's what I was looking for, performances. And then it had a great soundtrack as well. Like I did not go and see this one alone, and it was noted that I was just jamming out to the soundtrack, just really enjoying the soundtrack. And the soundtrack, I think without the music, this film would be quite sort of quiet and quite of a sedate pace. Whereas the soundtrack kind of like amps things up and makes it more dramatic and get behind these stocks and behind these people who have invested, and kind of like makes you pumped or makes you feel the drama. And I did feel quite breathless and quite like, oh, this is very exciting. What's going to happen next? And then there were definitely parts of the documentary that you kind of didn't see in the film. So whether you have or haven't watched the documentary, I think that there'll be new stuff in this film for you, because you kind of, it doesn't follow, the documentary follows the whole saga and does focus in on the main guy driving the stock forward, but this film kind of focuses in on him a little bit more, so it's a bit more of a biopic of him. However, we do get all these moments with these other people, these other real life people that are being affected by being able to just have the stocks and shares at their fingertips through the app and be able to buy and be able to invest. You see uni students, you see nurses, you see people who work for GameStop, you see, real people, mothers, and kind of people who have a lot of debt, and then people who do have some money, kind of investing, these families making money by kind of sticking it to the Wall Street guys because they've short stopped this stock. And so like building it up and building it up, and then being encouraged to hold and hold. And they talk about this diamond hold, this like vice-like grip, and being encouraged to hold and hold, and then like the big guys coming along and trying to screw them over. It's all very exciting. And I just thought that everyone played their parts really well. And it is one of those biopics where you do see the real people and then the actors playing them at the end, so you get that comparison. And the whole saga, the people involved were forced to testify in front of Congress, well, in front of, over Zoom. So like you see AOC interviewing the guy that plays the guy that founded Robin Hood and kind of did some shady things, even though he was one of the guys that was supposed to be like sticking it to the man. The whole point of it being called Robin Hood was that you take from the rich and you give to the poor. And so it was really interesting seeing the real life comparison, the side by side of what it is, because you've got Sebastian Stan playing this main guy. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I found it really quite invigorating. In case you can't tell, I've literally just come in the door from seeing it. And I just found it really interesting as well. It's one of those films, I mean, I love a sort of true story type of thing, a bit of a biopic, and I like an underdog story. And so this was all for me, definitely. But it's one of those films where you're like, yes, I would watch this again. I think I would take something else from it. I did laugh out loud. I was a bit like, there was some mild peril. You know, there is a lot of language in the film, and the music also features a lot of language in the film. So if you are sensitive to strong language, just be aware of that going in. But I just thought it was really good, and it's definitely one that you could go and watch with friends and then discuss afterwards. And I think it's one of those that would appeal to different generations of adults as well, from different points of view. I think that younger people would definitely find it appealing, and older people would find it appealing. And so you could potentially go with an adult family. I think it's a 15 rating here in the UK. I don't pay attention to the rating at the start of the film, not since I turned 18, and it didn't matter to me anymore. But yeah, I thought it was really good. Should you pay your cinema going money to go and see this? In my opinion, kind of see anything like left at the cinema right now that is actually watchable, because all the other things I've watched or they've come out since that just aren't great. And so yes, I think it's definitely worth a watch. Does it have to be seen on the big screen? I think the soundtrack sounds great on the big screen, but it's something that I would definitely rewatch here at home, having seen it once in the cinema. I won't necessarily go and see it again in the cinema. But yeah, I think that if you like The Social Network, you will definitely like this one. And if you like the recent Air film, you will definitely like this one as well. So there's my recommendation for you. As always, if there is a particular movie that you know is coming out that you want me to go and see next week, and bring my opinions to you here, please do let me know in comments. I am going to a screen unseen this week, so we'll see what that one ends up being. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up, and make sure you are subscribed and hit the notification bell, because I will have my September wrap up, October TBR coming your way very soon, so you don't want to miss out on those. And yes, I will see you with my movie review next week. Thanks for watching.